What's going on, everybody? This is Pastor Shay, aka Chaplain G, coming back at y'all with another word of encouragement for today. So I wanted to come at y'all with this word of encouragement, or this word from the Lord, if you will, right? There's a lot of people that are like, man, I just don't know what's next in my life. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should do this thing, take this job, marry this person, buy this house, buy this car, blah, 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 right? People seek after the Lord's favor, and they're just like, I don't know what God wants me to do next. Should I go on this mission adventure? Should I go into the ministry? Should I continue to be friends with this person? Like, all kind of stuff, right? The list goes on and on. I could go on for days with that. And I think sometimes we forget, like, God is okay with us making choices in our life. Like, he made us with the ability to choose to do things. In the same way, like, a dog just naturally wags its tail, is the same way that people just have the ability to make choices in their life, right? It's how we were created. I think what people are after, though, they're after this prophetic word from God, or like a particular direction that God wants them to go on. Like, people, I think we would be happy, like, if the clouds broke open and the voice of God came down and, like, go forth and get that job at Amazon. Like, I think sometimes we want that. It's not practical to expect that, but I think that sometimes that's what our hearts wants, right? But at the same time, because God has given us freedom to kind of make some of these choices, really it boils down to, okay, then what is the will of God for my life? And there's a few places in the Bible where God, like, directly gives his will for your life. And that's what I want to read you today. And I think once we have stuff like this in mind, making decisions that are God-honoring, they become a little bit easier. So this comes from Micah chapter 6, starting with verse 6. Check this out. It says, "With what shall I come before the Lord, and bow myself before God on high? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, with tens of thousands of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God." So in this, Micah is kind of exploring that, right? He's exploring their sacrificial system that God set up. Like, shall I give, like, burnt offerings and all kind of expensive oil? And he says, like, rivers, tens of thousands of rivers of oil, right? He calls back to the story of Abraham. Do I have to give my firstborn son for my soul? Do I have to give, like, blood and sweat and tears? Like, what does God want in order for him to speak to me? And then he answers his own question and says, he's already told you. He's told you what he wants you to do. He told you what he requires of you: to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk with humility. Justice, kindness, and humility. If we live our lives in such a way where those are our aims and those are our pursuits, that when we see injustice, like, we're speaking up and saying, no, there's injustice here and it needs to be remedied. As we're interacting with people, we do so with kindness. Like, we're not being jerks to people we meet. Like, we're not trying to, like, step on anybody's head in order to get ahead. You know what I mean? But we're operating with kindness, and then we're operating with humility. Like, when we see situations in our life, we're not thinking we're the most important thing, but we walk humbly before God and amongst other people. I think if we pursued those three things in our life, regardless of what decision comes up. So like my immediate thought, because that's who I feel like needs the most encouragement, is the people going through this religious exemption process, right? If you made your choices with kindness, humility, and trying to do what's right and what's holy, I think God is pleased with your decision-making process. If you're trying to figure out whether to buy a house somewhere, man, are you doing what's right before God? Like, are you stepping on other people? Are you trying to undercut people like in an underhanded kind of way? So are you doing that kind of justice? Have you made sure to like care for people that are unable to care for themselves before you make this big financial decision, right? Doing that kind of justice, loving kindness. So as you're interacting with the people in the process of buying the house, you're being kind to them, and you're being humble. Those kind of things, right? Trying to figure out whether you want to date a particular person, trying to figure out if this new job is right for you. All those kind of decision-making processes, right? Do justice, love kindness, walk humbly. I think if we do those things as we interact with our daily choices in this life, man, God will say, man, I am so honored that you made the choices you made. Good job, son. Good job, daughter. So go forth and make good choices, man, and keeping those three things in mind. That is my word of encouragement for you for today. Hopefully it's an encouraging one for you. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, man. Hit me up in the email if you got any questions about that, or, man, if you disagree, hit your boy up. Love to talk to you about it. But I love y'all. Hope y'all doing well. And until next time, grace and peace.